Hello everyone, Teacher Jessica here, and today I just want to talk about a couple things regarding teaching online. The first thing is to any person who has a degree watching this video, you are eligible to work for VIPKID or GOGOKID. You do have to reside in the United States or in Canada to work for those two companies. It's an online English teaching company, and you teach English to children in China. So yeah, what I want to talk about are some three major points that I wish someone would have told me before I started teaching. And I've heard it a lot about, you're going to have to really adjust for sleep. Because you are teaching and waking up at 4 in the morning, sometimes 3 in the morning, sometimes 5 in the morning. It all depends how much you want to teach. You will have to adjust your sleeping schedule. So for example, I used to go to bed at 10. I now go to bed at 8. And this allows me to get in 6 hours of sleeping before I wake up at 4:30 now. I wake up at 4:30 to teach from 5 to 9. So really having an ability to adjust your schedule, right? Adjust your sleep schedule. If you can start going to bed earlier, like at 7:30, 8 o'clock, and I know it's still daylight and it's gonna feel weird, but if you plan to do teaching online, you're gonna have to go to bed earlier so that you can wake up earlier so you can teach more the following morning. And I think that if you are maybe a parent of a toddler or a newborn, that may be challenging because you're going to feel like you're already not getting a lot of sleep. And so if you can't adjust your sleep schedule comfortably, then you're going to probably have cranky mornings, and it's going to kind of feel like, you're not doing your best. So my best recommendation is understand that your sleep world is going to change as far as going to bed early. And you've been going to bed probably your whole life at 10 or 9, and now you'd be going to bed at 7:30 in order to wake up earlier. And I live in Texas, so everyone has to think about what time zone they're in. The second thing is you don't need a lot of props to start. But eventually you will need to add products, and you will add, I say products, I mean props. You're going to have to add props and collect props over time. Relax, don't feel like you have to go out and buy new props. You can just go to your local thrift store, or you can just, as you go about your daily life, you can collect things that you think you can use, right? You can bring things from work that no one cares about, and you can use that. So feeling like you have to go out and buy a ton of things is not necessary at first, but you will need a couple of things. So here are a couple of things that you will need. And look at this wretched, poor little whiteboard. It's like coming apart. I need a magnetic, and I have one, but it's huge. This is a good size. So this is the whiteboard that I started with 2 years ago, and I should probably order one on Amazon. Anyways, so this is what I started with, and I've been printing items, printing rewards. For example, these are rewards here. And so I put them on cardstock, and then I attach a magnet, right? So I'm a little crafty, right? I can print, I can cut, I can glue. And so here, this is also part of it, and I print this. Now, where do I get this? There's a Google file that is free, that is shareable. Anyone can access it. It's part of a Facebook group, and I can post it in the description. Anyways, getting the file is easy. It's really easy. It's printing it. Like, how are you going to print it? Are you going to print it from your job? Do you have a printer at home? I didn't have a printer at home, so I invested in a $60 printer, and that's what I use now. And I don't even have a laminator. Like, this is not laminated. See, I'm still not there yet. And I've been doing this 2 years, so not a priority for me. Just get the things that are a priority. I also, this computer that I'm using, I bought this computer because I knew I was going to be teaching online and I wanted a good computer with a good camera and that wasn't going to bust on me, because I've had those computers before, the ones that are like $300, and those I noticed they busted after like a year and they were slow. So I invested in this Dell computer. It's in a Windows. It was about $1,000. I got it on Best Buy payment plan and I paid it off, and I'm so happy because this computer that I'm using has a good camera. It has a lot of programs that I use and it's durable. So I recommend, who's liking my stuff? Oh, hello, Yosef and Barbara. Hi, so I recommend getting a good laptop, and the investment is worth it. The last thing you want is your laptop to be like fizzing out on you, breaking, and then you have to teach classes. So I made the investment, and I'm like a super cheap person. Like I haven't even bought a laminator, right? So I don't buy things very, very often, and I like to get by with as little as possible. So a good laptop, a printer eventually, because you will want to print rewards to make, right? Because you're going to have to start, if you get the same students over and over, you're going to have to change your rewards, and that's why I bought a printer. Earphones, okay, so these are earphones. They're comfortable, right? They're gaming headphones, and I've been using these for a few months, and I've gone through maybe 3 pairs of headphones in 2 years. The reason is because the jack will usually start messing up. So it's important that you get, not this type of jack. I didn't know that this was the kind of jack that came with this, but I'm just using it until it breaks. The USB are the best ones. I had a pair like that and it was awesome. And those broke, I think, because I would roll over the cord. Okay, so those are the major things. Like if you're thinking about teaching online, or if you're already teaching online, these are some things you have to think about. Again, making sure that you understand your sleep. Unless you live like somewhere near China, the hour difference is 13 hours. So when they're in the evening, it's our morning. So going to bed early and having a healthy lifestyle, I mean, like you're not going out to the clubs and coming in at 2 in the morning and thinking you can teach online. Maybe you can do that once or twice, but it's not sustainable. You have to have a healthy environment to be able to do this, okay? And if you have little children, you would need the support of a partner to watch the children while you do your teaching. And they would have to help you, get into teaching online, and they would have to support you in that way. But the benefits of earning this extra income, or for me, like I earned this income as my full-time income this year. And I am so thankful because teaching online gave me freedom to not have to go to a school for a job. I actually was able to teach from home, and that's how I made my income this year. And it has been challenging only teaching from home because I'm not making the same amount of money. Is that Barbara? Hi, Barbara. You've been teaching online since October? Cool. How do you like it? Yeah. 12 hours, I know. And that's what I'm trying to say, is that like having a good idea about, you're going to have to go to bed early, like going to bed at 11 or going to bed at 10. I used to watch the Tonight Show every night religiously, and now I have to DVR it because I can't watch it. I have to go to bed by 7:30, and I'm really not even sleeping until 8:30. So I wish I understood that when I first got into it, like my sleep pattern world is going to be different. And I know people, yeah, it is great. I know people are that's a deal breaker. They'll say, well, no, I love my sleep, or I can't go to bed that early. That's crazy. And so maybe that's why they don't look into teaching online. But for me, I feel like it's a sacrifice, but it gave me so much back. Like the sacrifice was worth it. And I do have a 9-year-old daughter who basically takes care of herself. So, I don't have to be there tending to her every need. And we all end up going to bed at the same time anyways at about 8 o'clock. So it works out. So yeah, what do you wish that you knew about teaching online before you started? I know this is a common thing, but for me, it's the sleep. I wish I knew that I don't have to buy props. I can collect them as I go to different places. And also that, equipment is important. Having a laptop is important that works. And you can teach from an iPad, I've heard, but I don't have an iPad. And I know that you can't use your phone for teaching, although I have used my phone as a hotspot to teach in the country in places that don't have Wi-Fi. And my hotspot does work. So I've been lucky that, I've unexpectedly gone out of town and I'm booked for a couple classes, and I'm able to teach using my hotspot. And, I don't recommend someone do that all the time, because using a hotspot to teach online it can be like tricky. Hi, Tamara. Hi, Tamara. Tamara. I would just go with Tamara. She's one of my friends. Or Tamara. She's an elementary teacher. Hey, Tamara, where are you in the process of teaching online? It's summertime. It's time to go. I was just saying that some of the things that I wish I knew about teaching online is that your sleep, right? Understanding that you will have to go to bed earlier, like at 8 o'clock, to wake up at 4 or 5 in the morning. That's really important. And having, if you have a little one, it's important that your partner is supportive in like what you're going to be doing, because you're going to be basically in a room or in an area teaching, and you can't stop what you're doing and tell the kid, hey, hold on, I'm gonna go answer a question. So really preparing mentally for those things, as well as understanding that, like, I know people want to have a bunch of props. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I saw that you applied, and that and I know like life is going on really quick, and yeah, this, like, I had a friend from work who was applying for this job, and she kind of got a little frustrated and was like, I keep missing the appointment, and things kept coming up for her, like just regular family things. She has like 2 or 3 kids, and she felt like, what, this is just, she lost interest because her own life was doing a lot going on. And that's true. You are most important in what's happening. And, this teaching online gig will always be there. So take care of yourself and take care of what you need to do, for sure. Yeah, I do teach a lot with my hand motions. For example, I don't know, I'll say the roller coaster goes up and down. And then so I am doing a lot of this, pointing. I've collected props over a long period of time. And so, like, anytime, so I have things next to me. I have a bunch of props, a bunch of animals, and just things on my desk. It's super dirty with all these props, right? And so using TPR and my props, that's what I do. So anytime there's a chance to use, like, it says, who drives? And I'll get my car. Who drives? I drive, right? Or mom drives, because I don't have a picture of mom. Something else, and you know, if you have a printer, these files, I have these files and they're actually located in a Google, in some website. I can post the website after I'm done with this video. And on that website, there's all these files that have like mom, dad, right? And these are popsicle sticks. And I just print them. I put cardstock and then I glue them with a glue gun. And I use them to teach lessons. Whenever we talk about mom and dad and family, there's a lesson that talks about that. Also, there's a lesson that talks about food. And so the lesson is to learn eat. And it'll say eat. And the kid says eat. I eat. You eat. And the kid will literally go like, it's so adorable. And so, you know, again, this is a magnet, right? And so having a magnetic little board and just knowing you're going to probably make these, it will make it a lot more interactive, and it'll make it nice for your student and for you. You know, it's important you feel successful when you're teaching as well. And, you know, getting the kid to respond and to use complete sentences with you. Often they want to just say one word, and you have to train them to say an entire sentence, right? So for example, how are you? They'll say, fine. See, this is my fine. Fine. And I'll say, oh, I am fine. You say it. I am fine. Good. And then I'll do again. This is my symbol for again. How are you? And they're supposed to say, so yeah. So, and that's really how I look when I teach. I make that face. I feel like I'm a cheerleader. I'm like, and, you know, sometimes I'm not so serious. Sometimes, you know, it's a student that whatever energy that they give me, that's the energy I give back. If a student is like completely like, hello, I'm like, hello, my name is Teacher Jessica. What is your name? Oh yeah, and I made this, and I love to use this because I'll tell them, I am Teacher Jessica. And these are, I sell them on my Etsy store. They're like $10, 15 maybe. And it's got a nice little back. And I put it in my background. Anyways, what other questions do you have? Yeah, so for, I'm going to be wrapping it up here. We're going on 20 minutes. Thank you so much for joining. And this video will be available on playback, and you can watch from the beginning. Just let me know what you need if you want to practice Skype, if you have questions about, you know, income and how much all of that works. I'll be here to answer any questions. All right, thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful afternoon and have a great weekend. See you guys. Goodbye. My TPR. Goodbye. And then I always do this. Bye. So they know I'm leaving. Bye, guys.